What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, party people? I can't tell you the I can't even tell you and begin to tell you the problems and everything I've been having. But the good thing is I am on. And I wanted to say sorry about yesterday. And it was a debacle yesterday, to say the least. But the beauty of live TV, you get issues and stuff that goes on like this. So without further ado, though, I'm back again today, and I brought a good friend of mine and longtime major league catcher. What, Kelly, what, 14, 15 years? You know what I'm saying, in the big leagues? And
14.
14 World Series ring too, right?
No, I didn't quite get that.
You didn't get the D. You went with the D-backs when they won it?
No, I wish I was. I was in Cincinnati that year, '01, so
Okay.
just missed out.
Should have done my homework, right? But anyway,
Okay.
but yeah, long time major league catcher, Kelly Stinnett, great information, long time big league catcher who started running travel teams and still does, and we're gonna dig in deep to that. So now he's just starting a brand new program out in the Phoenix area named Park University. And I just thought it'd be a great, all the coaches that's been coming on has been awesome. And he's unique because most of the coaches that I've been bringing on, besides maybe one, haven't had no, real major league time. And this guy's played multiple years in the major league. So he can talk everywhere from, youth teams through college now and definitely into the pros because he's been there and done that. And I'm going to dig in and ask questions about that. So without further ado, Kelly, I appreciate you coming on, man. I know you're busy and recruiting and running businesses and running a program. I appreciate you taking out the time, and I know my listeners are happy. I want to say welcome, and if you could just kind of explain, kind of give a background, where you're from, and kind of go all the way up to where you ended up, where you're at right now at Park University. Please, Kelly.
Well, first off, D, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I'm not a big self promoter, so I'm learning how to do that because what I do, I'm good at. I'm good at baseball. I know how to teach baseball. I know how to develop kids. The recruiting part, selling myself, has been challenging the last couple of years, but I'm getting used to it. I know how to sell myself. Basically, it started, went to junior college, Seminole Junior College in Oklahoma, junior college All-American, went to Lawton High School, Lawton, Oklahoma, won a state championship football. I played with Will Shields and James Trapp, Dwell Brewer, all went off to the NFL. Will just got into the Hall of Fame not too long ago. So we got a good little core of athletes from that small little town in Oklahoma. I went on to Seminole, signed out there, got drafted by the Indians, played 4 years, got rule drafted by the Mets in '94. So I was in the big leagues in 1994, all the way up until 2007 with the Cardinals. After that, I was coaching my little guys in Little League. I wasn't, Little League's great for some people. It wasn't great for me. So about in 2006, I said, well, I'm going to start my own little travel teams for my older guy. So since 2006, I've been doing travel teams, 9U all the way to 18U the last few years. We've been all the way up to 14 teams at one time. Kind of fluctuates. That's kind of the issue we're having now in the travel scene. It's getting a little watered down. And I'm not going to badmouth anybody, but anybody that wants to put a team together can put a team together. So, and as part of the players and player association, I think we're all trying to get that back. Bring our game back. And Dee, I know you're trying to do the same thing there in Memphis. This is our game, and like I said, we know how to teach it. We know how to one of the biggest things is injury prevention. These kids are getting hurt at too young. I had a kid work out with me last week. Man, he's 16-year-old kid's already had Tommy John surgery. So that's something that, we need to grasp and get back into our court. So, that's kind of the quick version of my venture to where I'm at now. 3 years ago, I started a new program, Benedictine, here in Mesa, Arizona. Brand new program, won 36 games the first year, went 36 in 17, Last year went 40-18. I had a better opportunity in park to kind of ponied up, you know, got a little more pace, better benefits. It gives me a chance to kind of take a step back and kind of catch my breath a little bit, because I got a sophomore in college and I got a freshman in college, and it allows me to be a dad for a year. Plus, you know, I'm going to recruit. I still have 6 travel teams. I'll be in the cages tonight till about 9:30, 10 o'clock, working with young hitters, trying to have them better. I got a little warehouse here with 3 cages in it. And it's kind of our my home away from home. So I mean, that's kind of that's where I'm at. I mean, it's, you think you retire in 2006, but there's no retirement in this game, man. We have it in our blood, and I know you do, D.
Yep.
This is what we do, man. We live, eat, and breathe either in the cages or on the field, man.
I want to piggyback off of what you said, Kelly, with the I want to first off, let me say everybody that's on. Let me say what's up to Pudgy. What's up, Jeremy? What's up, David? What's up, DJ? What's up, Mike? What's up, Cabrera? Just a few people that, you know, has been trickling in. What's up, Bubba from Alabama? We got so my I know, you know, with the Major League Baseball kind of taking it back, I want to talk about I know we're going to talk about your school. I definitely want to dig deep in that, but you've been in this travel ball industry for over 10 plus. I was hearing rumblings about, you know, Major League Baseball starting their own, you know, travel teams and running it, and basically not having parents pay. I don't know, pay so much. What did you hear on that end, where, you know, because it's become such a money feeder and the perfect games and all of that, you know, like you said, baseball guys are not necessarily running these things. It's businessmen or, you know, people that really ain't teaching the game right. You know, tell me a little bit more about what you've heard.
Well, I mean, we're just trying to get Major League Baseball and Player Association, from what I understand, are going to partner, help guys like us. You know, everybody can't afford to play at the high level. I mean, perfect games, for instance, they're not cheap. You know, if you want to play in the USA Baseball, if you want to play in the West Coast out here, it's $2,500 per team to get in this thing. So it's not cheap. And I know I don't turn a kid away. You know, if you can't pay, we'll work something out. If you know, I mean, we have a 501c3 nonprofit part of it. We don't do a whole lot of fundraising. We just bite the bullet and go. You know, like I said, we figured out down the road how to get kids playing time, get them developed, and hopefully down the road they'll understand the sacrifice that we made and that their mom and dads have made to get them where they're at. You know, we're hoping there's going to be funding through those two organizations to help guys like me and you out for the kids that can afford it. Because as you just said, you know, it's not cheap to play in these events. It's not cheap to have a warehouse with, you know, 3 nets and I got 2 fungo men. I got 3 hack attack machines with self-feeding barrels. Our main purpose is to get reps. And I know you back in the day, probably like myself, is, well, I didn't go to a cage. We was going to the field, play some wiffle ball. We're going to play football, basketball, but we was always outside playing.
Right.
And you don't see that nowadays.
No.
So we're substituting that with trying to get, you know, high quality, high level reps through the machines we use nowadays. And these machines are awesome. It doesn't take place of just going out and being a kid and playing outside, which, you know, we don't see that anymore. But the industry itself, it's just booming. With facilities coming in and the tournaments, and, you know, everybody's chasing an almighty buck. You know, you and I want a little bit of that. I don't need much, but we want a little bit of that, and right, to help our families out and to help develop our product, which is it's you and I training kids to make their high school teams, get a college scholarship, and if you're that 1%, then you may go play pro baseball like we were fortunate to get to do.
That's right. Yeah, man. So that's good information, man. I want to kind of get into these questions again for the listeners on. Please type in your questions. This is a wealth of knowledge right here, man. This is a lifer when it comes to baseball, major leagues, all the way down to the travel ball industry, where he's teaching kids and college. You know, right now, college coach. All right. Anyway, so get your questions in. All right, Thomas, what's up? Manuel, Javi, what's up? Guys that are joining a little later. Nick, what's up, man? We have Kelly, I'm gonna get on with these questions. I know that you went from running, you still do run these youth teams. Um, how is that transition? How tough is it, or how beneficial is it? You know what I'm saying, for somebody like yourself who is now a college coach, and now you have your own set of travel teams. Is it a good or a plus or minus? How's the transition been?
Well, what I've done at Benedictine, and now what I'm going to do at Park, is we're going to create a culture. So we want to bring in some high school kids, and it's Grand Canyon does it out here to a certain extent with Andy Stankiewicz. We will create. Yeah, he's out here. We create freshmen through senior high school teams. We train them, make them part of our program, and if we're able to pluck a kid or two out of that, great. But worst case, we're going to help them get somewhere. Whether it may not be a fit with me. We might not have their course of study that they want to major in. So there's a bunch of different factors that fall into that. But we want to develop the kids. We want to get them to the next level. The one thing we really got to emphasize too is once you get in that freshman in high school, that those grades really count. And I actually give a kid a tour yesterday who wanted to take his sophomore year off in high school. He's got like a 2.6. Well, if you have a 2.6 in high school, no NCAA Division 1 or 2 schools are going to take you. And most D3 schools, especially D3, they don't have no money. It's all academic scholarships. That's one of the, I don't know if you call it a perk of what we are. I'm going to be an NAI school. We can take kids 2.5 and above and get them in and help develop them. So we'll get some D1 talent, if you want to say that don't have the grades, and we'll monitor them, we'll baby them, we'll make sure they're going to class, or we'll make sure they're up on their grades. And that's kind of where, that's kind of our little niche. And what we're trying to do is we'll take that kid that may have had a bad year. You don't know what happens in high school. Things happen, but we help pick them up and we help develop them.
So I'm glad I didn't know. So I'm supposed to have an NIA coach on, and also you said you're turning into an NIA school. That's what you said?
Yes, we will be. We can't officially be one until we actually school open. School opened in the spring of 2019. So we'll put our application in. The main campus is in Parkville, Missouri, right outside of Kansas City, and they've been there for years. I mean, the school opened in 1875, so it's an old school. But they have, all the major sports there except for football. And the program up there it's a good program. Actually, Brian McCray helped out there a few years ago. They took him under their wing. They helped him get his degree. And, I've talked to him quite a bit. And then he's actually a summer ball coach up in Canada now. So that's kind of the network. I got to talk to Darren Cox, played a little big leagues a little bit, University of Oklahoma catcher back in the day. I actually talked to Billy Wagner 2 weeks ago. He's a high school coach out in Charlottesville.
Nice.
You guys got players for me, guys, and you know what I'm about. So that's the networking that I'm doing with all the ex-big leaguers.
Now, let me ask you. So now the NAIA schools, what's the difference between NCAA and the NAIA school? Because I just learned, I've heard of the name before with other sports and people years ago, but I took one of my teams down to the NAIA school in southern Mississippi, in Mississippi this fall. And they were Division II, and he was kind of explaining that, and he was supposed to come on here. We just scheduling whatever, but I'm glad. I didn't even know. I'm glad I got you on there to talk about, besides all the 100 things that you got to offer on the conversation. But now, so what's the difference in the NCAA and the NIA school?
Well, for one, it's two governing bodies. NCAA it's obviously a little bit more prestigious in a lot of people's eyes. Mm-hmm. NEIs it's. Biggest thing is it's just different governing bodies, a little bit different rules. Baseball, for example, NEI has courtesy runner for the catcher and the pitcher, just like in travel ball, where NCAA doesn't. NCAA, you get Division I, you have 11.7 scholarships. Division II, you have 9 scholarships. D3, there's no scholarships. NEI, it's kind of per institution. Mm-hmm. You can give out what you want to give out. I can give a scholarship to every single kid that come to my school. That's how we run our program here. We are, and to get on the cost, we're the second cheapest school this side of the Mississippi. We're roughly $450 a credit hour. We're working on dorms. We don't have dorms yet, or we don't have a food program. But being a cheaper school, you know, we'll find some ramen noodles and some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches to get these guys, you know, out here to play. Just like we did in the minor leagues.
They don't do that no more, Kelly. They don't know what that is, Kelly. They don't even know what that is no more. The peanut butters, and they don't know that no more. You know, nah. But so anyway, so to Park University, explain it a little. You said it's so new that you guys been playing ball, but the school has not opened up. If I heard you right, or what?
This is our second campus. So there's one campus that's been open forever in Missouri. We're a second campus.
Okay.
So we're actually going to be we're all an individual school, just associated and have the name of Park. So that's Parkville. We're going to be Park Gilbert. Right. You're starting to see that a lot. We have an Ottawa University out here. There's the main one in Kansas. We have the Benedictine, which I was at last 2 years, has a main campus in Chicago, which is a D2 school. The one here is NAI. So Embry-Riddle, for example, same thing. Embry-Riddle has 3 or 4 campuses across the country. One in Florida that's really good. We have an Embry-Riddle here up in Prescott, which is an aeronautical school. So we just brought in, and that's our 5th. We have 5 NAI level schools here in Arizona where, you know, 3 or 4 years ago, there was only ACU. That was it. Arizona Christian, where Billy Swift had coached last 5 years. So, you know, you're starting to see more of the small colleges pop up. It's more, you know, the classes are smaller. Classes are a lot cheaper, you know, more one-on-one interaction. I mean, we're going to be, our faculty and professors are going to be, you know, really hands-on. It's, you know, 10 to 15 kids per class. Our master's program is exceptional. We have 41 satellite campuses associated with some military bases across the country. So that's one reason I want to come here to, you know, start there, because I feel how stable they are, how, you know, I mean, they're wanting to help everybody out to get your bachelor's and your master's degree, and the way they do it, so inexpensive and the one-on-one. I mean, that's to me, it's a great fit for me.
Nah, awesome, man. That's good information. I didn't know all that. But so anyway, I know that because it's such a new school, and well, you know, from the Missouri campus, how deep are the recruiting now? I mean, I know it's a hotbed of talent right there in the Phoenix area, no doubt about it. But you know, have you ventured out yet? Are you, you know, I know you're making the contacts with Billy and, you know, a couple other guys, B-Mac and everything, but are you, you know, how have you plucked some kids outside the state, and how's that work? You know what I'm saying? Are you willing to recruit out of state or what?
Oh yeah, by all means. I've got a junior college catcher from Texas committed. We're going to get into more of Texas, New Mexico, Colorado, Nevada. At Benedictine, we had over 20 kids from California come in. My first year, I had a kid from Ocala, Florida, come in. I'm talking to a kid later today from Colorado through Darren Cox. I've got another kid from Florida that's interested in coming here. So it's, you know, and we're touching more of the, you know, we're in this kind of this Four Corners area, but you know, if you can play and you will come to Arizona, you know, help me win national championships, I'm all in, man.
I mean, say your records again for the first 3 years. What's your winning percentage?
Well, brand new school was 36 and 17, and then 40 and 18. So I won 76 games in 2 years.
Wow.
We're only allowed to play 55 games a year. So, yeah, first year we won 37 games with one guy throwing over 86. So we could spin it a little bit. We get hit. You know, we were in the bases hard. I know as a catcher, I hated guys that were aggressive. You know, ball in the dirt, we're gone, man.
Right.
We hit our cutoffs, man. Ball in the air more longer than 3 seconds, man. It's got to be caught. So that's kind of, you know, we want some athletes, guys that can run, and we'll help develop you. Guys that fly that kind of fly on the radar, you know, and you got a chip on your shoulder. You know, we'll help develop that chip, and we'll get you to the next level. Let
me ask you this: so, what's a Park University type of kid? I know you say he wants to speed, and you know, but you know, when a kid could play, but I already know. I know the type of guy and level of education just by playing that you are. So I know they win games just on the strength of you being their coach. I already know that you're like 5, 10, 20, 15 wins on your own. But what type of kid is a Park University? What type of kids are you wanting in your program?
Well, I mean, my nickname was the Grinder during my pro career. Glenn Sherlock gave that to me when I was here in the D-backs in '98. He's now the third base coach, or maybe the bench coach with the Mets now.
Yeah.
That's the mindset. We're going to grind it out every day. We're going to figure out how to win. We're going to figure out how to get on base. We're going to figure out how to get guys out. I run the weight program because we just don't have a budget for a trainer right now. Mm-hmm. So we're in the gym at 6 a.m. 3 days a week. I'm preaching to you what we're going to do this year. We're going to win games. We're going to think fast. We're going to run fast. We're going to throw fast. We're not going to give any quarter. That's kind of a football saying, but I played football my whole high school career, and we're not going to give in. We're going to show up every day, and we're going to play. We'll play anybody. For example, my first year, brand new school, New Mexico State calls their D1 school and asked me if I want to play. They had somebody cancel on the weekend. And I said, yeah, where you want me to go? So we showed up, and we took them to the ninth. Both games, they had to throw their Friday night starter to close the second game out, or we to beat them. Nice. But we were very competitive against them. I didn't even throw my top 3 guys. So wow. If anybody out there wants to play us, come to Arizona. If I have enough money in the budget, we'll go play anybody. I got to stay under 55 games. The other bonus, what we do out here as well, is we have a JV program. It's kind of the development program. So we'll play 55 games on the varsity level, and I've got 14 junior colleges within 3.5 hours of here. We'll play 20 or 30 games at the JV level. So we're going to give. If you come to Park University, you're going to have that. Baseball, you're going to play baseball in college, whether it's at the JV level, the varsity level. And if you're just a little short in some areas and you think this is a fit for you, and you buy into the weight room, you buy into our philosophies, it may be a year or two, but you're going to have an opportunity to play at our varsity level and hopefully get seen. But yeah, we play a lot of baseball out here, man.
I mean, listen, besides maybe South Florida or just Florida and bits and pieces of the state of Georgia and bits and pieces of California, you hotbed of just attention, talent, with spring training being out there. 16 teams, Kelly, out there right now, spring training wise?
14 or 16. It's an even number. I forget. Yeah. But yeah, there's.
So I'm just saying, as far as just like easy exposure, you know what I'm saying? Like easy exposure. If that's your goal, which it should be, besides going to college, but you have. And then, with everybody's major league teams headquarters and stuff being right there, I mean, I mean, listen, and it's Phoenix, Arizona. Enough said with that. I mean, there's no reason why. I see why you're winning. There's no reason why you can't get a pipeline, because it's so much talent rich right there in the Phoenix area too, and the fact that you're, the network that you have and the type of coach that you are. It should be pretty. It's easy to see why you're winning like you're winning so far and competing against D1 schools out the gate like you are. So hats off to you, brother. I'm gonna get these questions going from these parents, man. And I appreciate you coming on, man. And I ain't gonna have you on all day. But Manuel from Texas asks, what do you think about programs like Baseball Factory, Youth Baseball, All-American, Perfect Game, etc.? My son is part of all those programs. What do you think about those?
Well, Perfect Game was developed by baseball guys. I mean, I played with Ben Ford. I was supposed to talk to Ben here pretty soon about doing some networking stuff out here. You got to kind of pick and choose. Some of them are just trying to get in your pockets and make a coin off of you and use the name. And Baseball Factory has, a good name. They got a good sponsorship. And they do a good job running events. They get good coaches, but you kind of got to pick and choose. I mean, and just like I say, even with travel teams, travel events are getting watered down as well. And that's how a lot of, and it's okay for college coaches, because that's where some of our assistants, there's not a lot of money in coaching at the college level unless you're a D1 guy. So we count on camps and clinics like that to supplement income for assistant coaches. So they'll, I got one of my citizens going to go do a camp. They're going to pay him a couple $100, take care of his hotel room, and that's kind of a sell. But I recommend that if you are going to go to an event, research who's going to be there, what colleges are going to be there. Is it a fit for my son? If you're having 10 colleges there and they don't offer his degree, there's no reason you should be going there. So I would do some research before I go to these events to make sure you're getting your money's worth, because like I said, there's billions of dollars being spent on travel baseball, and now everybody's wanting to get their hand and get a piece of that pie. So just be careful, do your due diligence before you do anything, and make sure it's a fit for whatever event or for whatever team you're going to go showcase your son in front of.
Cool. All right. Bubba from Alabama asks, what questions should a parent ask when considering a travel ball organization?
Biggest thing is development. Are you going to develop my kid? And it's kind of what we going out here. I mean, I don't really do majors teams because I want the underdog. I want the little guy to help develop and get better. So we're more development. I would hate to see, 14 and under, 15 and under to pigeonhole a kid. Hey, you're going to be a first baseman, third base short. I want to make sure we move kids around. We play different positions. And just kind of what kind of baseball background do you have as a coach? What's your skill set? Are you just a high school guy? And trust me, there's some really good guys out there, really good technicians that maybe not have played pro ball, and that's okay. And they're going to help us develop kids down the road. And I'm going to have a few of those on my staff as well, But, I'd say a background and just make sure my kid's playing, as much as possible, and keep that roster size down. If you're on a team with 14, 15 kids, that's tough. We try to keep our roster size around 10 or 11, but we also have 6 teams, and we can, if we have a couple kids missing, we just bring kids up in our own organization, from a younger age group and to fill in. So that's what I've asked, background, and just make sure we keep a roster size down. And if you're going to pay that much money, your kid better be playing every inning. So,
amen. So, what do you? I don't know if this was D Brooks was asked. He has a statement. He said MLB has the EDI and Breakthrough Series programs. I guess it was just making a statement. I think D Brooks, but Mark Watson from Maryland asks. Kelly, is this a for-profit school?
No, it's a nonprofit school. The building we're in can only house nonprofits. We have. That's what's pretty cool. Is got a brand new building, 4-story building. We don't have facilities yet. I've got a town field that we're going to use to practice at, and we're trying to network with maybe Tempe Diablo, where the Angels are, maybe use some of their fields for games next year. So, with all three training facilities back around here, we're going to try to get on some of those fields from time to time to showcase our kids.
Nice. All right. Evelyn wants to ask, do you reach out, or do you seek inner city kids?
We don't care if you're pink, purple, blue, yellow, green. If you can play baseball and you want to play for me, we'll take you. I don't care. I mean, it's we don't see color. We see baseball players. We develop baseball players, and the part of that is once they become the college, become a student athlete. So you see what's word is first, student, then athlete. So we make sure you're a good student. We're going to help you get your degree, because worst thing that can happen is you're going to go to college and something happens, and we always talk about this. You blow your arm out, you have an ACL, and you can't play no more. Well, we got to get that degree. We got to get you, when you graduate there, got to get you to workforce so that you're able to make a decent living.
Nice. All right. Amen to that. All right. I got one of my questions. I had how many days should a 14-year-old be in a gym?
Well, it depends. That's kind of the age where we kind of start recommending them getting some kind of weight program. Probably 4 times a week. What we do is when we're in the off-season program, we'll lift 4 days. We'll do our cardio and abs on Wednesday. You'll take Friday, Saturday off. In season, we'll go 3 times a week, just to make sure we're maintaining. And yeah, I'll probably start around 14, 15 as a freshman in high school is when you should start attacking the weights.
All right. The I got. Let me see. Anything else? All right, that's it. That's all the questions I have today. If you have, it's a light day today as far as questions. I got any other questions over there? Let me refresh. All right. So anyway, well, Kelly, I know that I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming on. I reached out to you, man, and just you coming out. I appreciate it. Mark asked, what camps do you got coming on? What kind of camps do you have? Mark is definitely willing to travel from Maryland. Yeah, he's reached out, and so Mark wants to know what kind of camps, what's your upcoming camps you got?
We don't have any listed yet. Keep checking our website after New Year's, January. We're going to post some camps, some prospect camps. Mm-hmm. We're still really new, so we're working on that part of it as well. But if there's and we're always hosting tournaments. There's teams always looking for players. You just want to come out for a weekend. The UAAA is big out here. We have Southwest Wood Bats, baseball showcase. I mean, I played back-to-back tournaments with my 18U teams these last 2 weekends. So it's every weekend there's tournaments out here. But we'll be posting camps after New Year's and start, having kids come out and show their ability to us.
All right. If you could tell me the website, and I will. I'm gonna put it in the comment section so they'll know.
It is. You would have to ask that, man. It's Park University Gilbert Athletics. I don't know the exact phrasing, but if they Google that, it'll pop up.
Okay. Park.
We're the Gilbert campus for Park University.
Or you can just Google Kelly Stinnett and it'll pop up. Cause that's actually what I did. Before I knew it was 2 N's and 2 T's, but that was my issue. That's what right. But it's been a while, Kelly. But yeah, that's what I did. So Mark, to answer your question, just more so just if you could Google Kelly and it'll pull up exactly what you're looking for. Cause that's what I did see that, too. So Mark Woods from Indiana asks, what arm development training do you recommend for young pitchers?
Oh, young pitchers probably stay away from heavy balls. We do it at the college level. We do a little bit of drive line program. I would just do the bands and teach them long toss. Learn how to throw high and far with an arc. And that's going to teach the boys how to spin the ball. It's going to teach them how to get extension. That's what I learned, is learn how to play long toss.
I mean, because they have a bunch, like everything. They have a bunch of these programs out here. I keep getting asked this, and I know it's a personal preference, but I mean, these weight ball stuff, I see these, a lot of these coaches using it. I know it's kind of been like a craze, just like everything else is at times. So you're saying you don't use them until they are in college, the weight ball stuff? Because I know people that are using it at 13, 14, and 15 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd go that young. I mean, it's we're not done growing. Kids aren't growing. You see these growth plate issues. That's caused kids to throw too much as well. Once those growth plates close up, and then you could probably start on that the throwing of some heavy balls. And once again, it's kind of, we tailor. If we have 30 pitchers or 25 pitchers, we're going to sit out in each individual pitcher and say, hey, what do you want to do? Do you want to do drive line? Do you just want to do bands? Do you want to do long toss? It's not a cookie cutter. And that, D, you've had, hundreds of coaches and at the minor league level and pro level. And every year I have a different hitting coach, and every year you have a different outfield coach. And, I try to take a little bit I learn from everybody and kind of apply it to what I want to teach. But there's no one way to do it. We got to tailor it to each individual kid. And you may want to try it for a little bit. And if it doesn't work, then you will try something else. But, I especially for the heavy balls, I would at least wait, if that's what you want to try, till, probably a sophomore, 16, 17. That way we know you're almost done growing.
You being a catcher, I know sometimes, especially, what is that it factor that makes it, you just know a kid is destined to be a catcher? Like, what, can you explain that? Because I'm dealing with a couple of kids that I know that I think are very talented, but I just don't think they have at the catching position, but they just don't have that, that it, I believe they don't have that it thing to really, get, because you got to want to do that position. It's fun when you're 8 and 9 because you get a whole lot of action, but as you get older, you know what I'm saying? So what
I think you hit the nail right on the head right there. You got to want to do it, and there's many days when I was young, I didn't want to do it. But then you kind of get that, starts to get a little easier. Your knees don't hurt, your legs don't ache, you get stronger. And then you hear that phrase, well, the fastest way to the big leagues is a catcher. So I'm like, well, hell, I'm gonna go this way then. Give it a shot and see if it works out. And luckily it did.
Yeah, I know with disrespect, Kelly, I love y'all, man, but I'll be like, y'all the smartest, dumbest guys ever. Because if I have to give me any type of choice to play what any position on the baseball field, catching would be the last. Because y'all take the beating, get disrespected a lot, especially during spring training. No swings, just sit there and do bullpens, and it's just. But I ain't gonna poo-poo that, because that's why you got the great managers, man. But gosh, I could never do it. But anyway, the Bubba asks, what age for a curveball slider? What age should they start throwing curveball sliders?
High school. We teach fastball, change up, learn how to locate a fastball. Your fastball's 5 pitches. Down, away, down and in, up and away, up and in, and we call it the 5 fastball, just right above the hands, right down the middle of the plate. And throw 2 change-ups. Throw a change-up for a strike, throw a change-up on the plate. When they get 14, 15, then you can teach them how to spin it a little bit. But like I said, that these kids got to finish growing a little bit. We got to get those growth plates start closing up. And that's the biggest injury I think we see out here is those growth plates. They get separated, and that sets a kid back a couple of years if they have that growth plate issue.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out, because I don't know about you, but like I never heard of that word growth plate into the last 3+ years of doing travel ball, especially that 13, 14-year-old range. Is like every year is a kid that gets a growth plate issue and ends up missing months on end because of, has it always been there? I don't know what it is. Like I just started hearing about this growth plate.
I think it's just because we're more in tune to it now. Kids are throwing more. Like I said, the only time I threw a ball was during the summer. I was shooting basketballs in the winter, and I was throwing footballs, during the, in the fall. So, I only threw a baseball 2 or 3 months out of the year. Kids now are throwing 12 months out of the year. So I think that's where the issue is.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, I think I lost you. Hello.
Yeah, because growth plate is hey, so any questions left? And our on guys still checking, but I think Kelly, if not mistaken,
I think I'm losing you, D.
Give me. So this is off the cuff over here, right? And
sorry, buddy, been cutting out the last few seconds. Can you hear me, D?
Are you back?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. So I want if you could explain to me, give me your top 2 best memories of playing in the big for my audience over here. You first one I ever did this with.
Getting a hit in 1994, my first big league game playing at Wrigley Stadium against the Cubs. That was.
Who's your first hit against?
Sean Bosco. Sean Bosky.
Okay.
That was it. And then 99, we clinched the NL West pennant with the D-backs. That was pretty special.
For the reason I thought you was on that. I knew you were with the D-backs for a while. I just thought
I get that a lot. You're not the only one. I get that a lot because it's just, I was one of the first 2 catchers here, and poor Rod Barajas gets left behind. He was the other catcher.
I remember Rod. Yeah. I remember Rod. Yeah. Good
That's
dude.
another thing. Rod's kids coming to visit the campus too. So we network with a lot of ex-Major League Baseball players. Like Kevin Young's kid's over Benedictine, who's come to play for me. Ken Huckabee,
Nice.
Mark Parent. Yeah, so we network with a bunch of big leaguers to try to help their kids along.
And are they coming to play in the travel ball or college?
They're at the college. They're at the college level.
Nice, man. Nice. All right, so you got a little pipeline of ex-big leaguers coming down there, man.
And we try.
Nice, man. That's a nice little roster of those guys right there, man. But so anyway, hey parents, this guy here, man, I mean, just a wealth of knowledge, man. And I appreciate him so much coming on. I thank you guys for being on. Kelly, man, I greatly appreciate it, man, in such a short time. I definitely have to, maybe camp-wise or send some of my boys down there because I know what type of coaching that they'll get. Especially they'll love the Phoenix area too. I'm glad we kind of connected, man, again. And I'm definitely need to hear about your camps and what you got going on. But if you got a last message or anything you want to share with these parents before we, you close out, it could be recruiting, or it could be or just a statement or something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you that you want to end this with before we head out. Do you have anything, last words?
Yeah, I mean, on the college side, your freshman year starts counting. So make sure the kids are busting their hump as their freshman, sophomore year. Don't take any years off. The better your grades, the more money you're going to get college baseball, because college baseball doesn't give a lot of scholarship money. There are some, but not a lot. The other thing is, parents, let your kids be kids. Let the coaches that you're paying these dues and tournament fees, let them coach. That's kind of a pet peeve of mine is we're teaching a kid to do something and we have a parent sneak up behind the dugout trying to talk to them and tell them something else. You're paying us the money. Let us develop the kids, please. We know what we're doing. And if we don't know, trust me, we're going to find somebody that will within our organization or outside our organization. But you're there for a reason. You want to get your kid better. Let us handle it. That's my message.
I love it, dude. I love it. All right, so we got we got your boy coming on there tomorrow, Kelly. So tomorrow at 3, we're going to keep the ball rolling with ex-big leaguers. We have Orlando Old Dog Hudson coming on tomorrow.
That's going to be a 2-hour session, man. You're going to be talking about 2 hours. You may need to get an interpreter too for him. So
right. Right, I already know. So yeah, I reached out to him. He's coming on tomorrow. Oh, I need to confirm, but that's the plan right now tomorrow. And for Kelly, for Big Muck, Kelsey, who was supposed to come on yesterday, Oakland A's scout, he is coming back on Saturday at 3. So hopefully I could get these issues squared away with these technical things. And I'm glad we made it through because, man, it was a tight with me and Kelly today. But so the next 2 days, don't miss it. Be impactful. Please tag people. You like Kelly said, Old Dog is a character. And Saturday definitely with the scout from Oakland will have a wealth of information too. So we're just gonna keep this ball rolling. I appreciate you guys listening. Kelly, I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you for coming on. And you can take care of yourself, man. And I'll be in contact. Definitely be in contact, man. Definitely.
All right, man. Take care, guys.
You guys take care. Peace and love. And I'll see you guys tomorrow at 3 o'clock.